I mean, when you're on stage and you're trying to do political jokes, and the political jokes aren't getting laughs; they're just getting applause breaks. You're more of a lecturer and a politician lecturer than you are a comedian.
What do you think? I mean, in comedy, there is a distinction. Your style, the blue comedy style, it's very self-deprecating in a way that's very jolly. I mean, people that love to not take themselves seriously. And then on the other side of comedy, you have a version that's very angry. It's all jokes about how angry they are at these other people that are so horrible. And it's kind of it's rage comedy. I don't know. What's your perspective on that? Is it that divided?
Well, it's kind of like, that's the thing now. The anti-comic is supposed to be funny. It's like all these late night guys. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not getting laughs; they're getting applause.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather get laughs than applause. They're not laughing because it's funny. They're so full of hate. They're applauding because they agree with what. I mean, there's no jokes there at all. It's. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you're on stage and you're trying to do political jokes, and the political jokes aren't getting laughs; they're just getting applause breaks. You're more of a lecturer and a politician lecturer than you are a comedian. I mean, there's no comedy there. I think as far as it seems like it's going more angry. It's like Steve Martin used to say back when he was coming up, why did he do the goofy stuff? He says, because everybody was doing all this anti-war material and all this mean stuff, and they were angry. And he goes, I figured I'd go the other direction because nobody's doing goofy stuff, and people like to laugh at goofy, childish stuff, which is true. People like to laugh at funny stuff. So that's the way I went. I just did my own style, you know. I mean, I came up with this character. I never meant to do it on stage, but I've always been a fan of all the one-liner comics and the setup punch, and that's the kind of comedy that I like to do. I don't think that all these angry comics, they're just, I mean, they can do it if they want to. Comedy's hard no matter what you do. I support anybody doing comedy, but they're just, if you're just up there to be a politician, then run for something, run for office. I mean, if you're just up there, just a donkey, and you don't get laughs but applause breaks, you're not a comedian. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what about the actual audience? Because I think that's one interesting thing to me about sort of the middle. It's not just middle America. We frame it like that, but people like this are everywhere. We like laughing at ourselves in our own.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you know, I was born in, I grew up in the South pretty much. I moved away from Nebraska when I was 15, but I grew up in a town of 1,200 in southeast Nebraska. And then I moved to Florida, of course, when I was a kid, lived there most of my life. I'm back in Nebraska now. But, you know, I'm a country kid. Mm-hmm. We can laugh at ourselves. We do things. I mean, people can stereotype me all I want to because it's funny. We do. Country folks, there's different degrees. There's Honey Boo Boo rednecks. There's Foxworthy rednecks. There's Larry the Cable Guy rednecks. You know, the difference between redneck and country, you know, is like, you know, $70. You know what I mean? So there's different degrees of redneckism, whatever you want to call it. But we can make fun of ourselves and you know, like we think it's funny. We can take a joke. It's not a big deal. We get that it's a joke and we move on with our lives and we enjoy our lives, where other people can't poke fun at themselves. They can't do it. It's like the person that makes fun of everybody else, but the minute you make fun of them, well, that's off limits. Right. You know, and I will say I performed in front of all kinds of audiences, and I will say it, and a lot of comics will agree with me. The worst audiences on the planet are your upper white liberal lefties because they can't laugh at anything. Mm-hmm. My favorite audiences are rednecks and black audiences. They laugh. They love to laugh. Country folks love to laugh at themselves. They love to laugh at humor. They love jokes. Same with black audiences. They love to laugh at jokes. They love it. When I was on Steve Harvey's a buddy of mine, and I remember when I went on Steve Harvey's radio show, he used to do a live radio show in LA, and I went on that show, and man, they were dying laughing. And Steve Harvey told me that before I even came out there. He said, "Oh, Larry, you got to come on my show, man. My crowd, they will love you, man. They will love you," which is true. And I remember when I was doing my show for History Channel, I got stereotyped by all these lefties as this comic that does this and he hates this. And he's a big racist and blah, blah, blah. Well, the guy that was my director, he needed work. So he wasn't a fan of mine, but he took the job. He was my director on History Channel. And after the first 3 weeks, he came up to me and said, "Man, you are absolutely nothing like I read about on the internet, people that trash you, and you're absolutely nothing. We go to all these towns of diverse people, and everybody likes you. Everybody says nice. Everybody, they love your comedy. They love to laugh." And I said, "I know. It's always those Northeast liberals and those West Coast. They just can't handle anybody that laughs at something that they don't agree that you should laugh at." And, when I went into Harlem and I played basketball at Rucker Park, man, it was amazing. It was so awesome. I was even shocked at all the people that came up to me, said they loved my show and they loved, and quoting my bits and saying, "Get her done." And I mean, it was awesome. I love people. People love to laugh. I think if you do your jokes in a way, if you're going to be politically incorrect, if you're just not hateful about it and just a jerk about it, they just like to laugh. And if you don't present the material as you're better than everybody else, and these people are below you and you're making fun of them, then it's different. But if you do it in a certain way where you make fun of yourself, you're not better than anybody else, and you do things that are dumb and stupid, everybody can relate to that. Everybody everybody does something stereotypically that you can do jokes about. I mean, if you get rid of all that kind of stuff, there's nothing to do comedy over. Nothing.
You're reminding me of like video chatting with my grandpa because your camera's like pointing at your head, your forehead.
I totally forgot that I'm on video.
Hey everybody, Kyle here from the Babylon Bee. I hope you really enjoyed that video. If you did, head on over to our YouTube channel because there's a lot more where that came from. We do animation, funny sketches. We have a weekly podcast. We interview a lot of crazy and fun people. So go check it out. Hit subscribe, like, share, comment, interact with us on social because we feed on your love. And we might even reply and interact with you back. So check it out. Thanks a lot for watching.